Ancient Greece and Rome was a pedophile paradise. While the practice of pedophilia today is a morally wrong and illegal act, some of the ancient Greeks and Romans regarded it as a common practice and sometimes something to be celebrated. Pedophilia was common in Greek and Roman mythology and daily life. The ancient Romans and Greeks openly practiced forms of pedophilia, although it was not legally or morally regarded as it is today. Pedophilia was common among nobility and the elites and was often seen as rites of passage for the youth involved in them. The Romans were not as open to the practice of pederasty, as they were not open to many of the Greek ideas or ways of life. The methods of the Greeks were often seen as beneath them, even though a lot of Roman culture and myth is taken and expanded upon from the Greeks. The Romans would pursue sexual relationships with younger men. Still, these relationships were only seen as forgivable if the older man was a freeborn Roman, and he was having sex with a younger slave or prostitute who wasn't of Roman origin. The lex scantinia was a law set in place in Rome that penalized sex with a young freeborn male, preventing any form of pederasty as the Greeks practiced it from happening in Rome. Often people do not know that the Greeks and Romans practiced pedophilia. Despite the significance of ancient sexuality in modern debates, there has been little discussion on pedophilia in the ancient world. It's barely discussed on the History Channel. It's hardly considered in documentaries. It's barely discussed in the media, and it's barely discussed among historians. According to ancient sources in Rome, there never, ever was any time when it was an acceptable societal value. Rome's first historian, Polybius, rails against it, calling it a foul Greek custom, as does its last, Ammianus Marcellinus, because the Germanic tribes did it and he found it disgusting. It was said, Cicero was fond of denouncing his enemies such as Catiline, Clodius, and Caesar as homosexuals, and Catiline he very explicitly calls a pederast. Every Roman villain, Tiberius, Caligula, Nero, Commodus, Heliogabalus, is cast as a homosexual, bisexual, or pederast, and deified emperors such as Augustus and Claudius are usually cast as men who were too fond of women. Tiberius was most explicitly cast as a pederast. Even good emperors who indulged in boys had to be apologized for by the ancients, a prime example being deified Trajan, of whom Dio said, a fault against him was that he was too fond of wine and boys, but he at least harmed no one in these pursuits. Athenian law, for instance, recognized both consent and age as factors in regulating sexual behavior. Women participated in some sexual activities with minors, although it was not a mentorship or celebrated relationship in the way that pederasty was. One example tells the tale of Aphrodite, or Venus according to the Romans, the goddess of love, falls madly in love with the mortal Adonis. Although it is common to hear Adonis used to refer to strapping, strong men in modern times, he was often portrayed in art and writing as a youthful, beardless boy. Beardedness was a symbol of male adulthood in Greco-Roman literature, so seeing Adonis depicted as beardless and childlike points to the idea that he was indeed an adolescent teenager. There were female cults devoted to Adonis who celebrated the Adonia, a festival of highly secretive rituals that made the men of Greece, specifically Athens, feel suspicious and inferior. None of which is to say that it did not happen, but it was always something to be kept quiet, done with slaves, or discreetly at the brothel. There was no open courting of boys. The Romans were very conservative sexually, and all of the business about orgies was either done in a time of extreme corruption, as under Caligula, when he forced noble women and boys into prostitution, or just plain Hollywood fantasy. Scholars have debated the role or extent of pederasty, which is likely to have varied according to local custom and individual inclination. Historian Enid Block argues that many Greek boys in these relationships may have been traumatized by knowing that they were violating social customs, since the most shameful thing that could happen to any Greek male was penetration by another male. She further argues that vases showing a boy standing perfectly still as a man reaches out for his genitals indicate the boy may have been psychologically immobilized, unable to move or run away. However, after the Roman Empire begins to crack, Christianity started becoming more widespread and more influential. This is due to Constantine accepting Christianity as a primary religion. Paganism became illegal when Constantine accepted.
Alright, there you heard it first, man. Alright, first and foremost, before we get into anything, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory be unto every Father and the Son, Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi. Alright. Double honors to those and apostle of the great millstone, who were willing time in his truth, and a sincere citation unto the brethren, pushing his word through truth, sincerity, written life, freedom to do so. The spirit and power of Yahawashi, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native, Seminole Indians are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites according to scripture and prophecy. And today, man, we'll be going into the topic of Rome and Greece's sexuality. Okay, as you can hear there, what they used to do, and is a common practice in today's society as well. Okay, of course, it's kept in the dark for obvious reasons, but the reason why I wanted to do this video was just I wanted to do a history type of lesson, man. Okay, like a throwback, and this is one of the things I was meditating on at the plantation today, to do a video on it. I actually have a second video that I want to show you guys, but as you can see there, man, just based off even the statues, okay, you'll even, they don't really show up much in the movies, but, yeah, man, a lot of them were into younger boys, and this is just, this is them, the heathen ruling. Okay, you'll even see this in I believe Samaria or Babylon as well. Okay, among Ham, if you will. Okay, commonly practice homosexuality, of course, and being into little boys, if you will. Okay, the edophile. Okay, I can't say the word, but edophile. All right, as you can see there. Okay, all right, and you heard the woman basically say that it's demeaning, or one of the worst acts that can happen to a man, not just a Greek man, but a man in general, is being penetrated by another man. Okay, and these are against the laws of the Heavenly Father. Okay, I actually have a second video I'm going to show, but I'm probably going to go through the whole first one, and I'm going to bring out some scriptures. Okay, so hey, man, you can see here first, man. These heathens are off, man. And again, this is a commonly practiced thing. Okay, the Greece Empire came first, okay, and then you have Rome, okay, and then now you have America, okay. They all symbolize the same thing. They have the similar statues, same philosophies, same doctrine, same thing, man. Okay, all right. And what do you have here now in the modern time? They're actually trying to legalize through the LGBTQ, okay, which they're gonna they're gonna get to it, okay. They're gonna use them as a mechanism to basically legalize pedophilia. Okay, they're gonna try and legalize it through them. Okay, all right. It's the same politics. It's the same thing, man. The same spirit is back here again today. All right, so I'm just gonna finish up the first clip, and I'm bringing out some scriptures.
Christianity. Because of this, society changed from paganism to Christianity, and laws were carefully crafted in line with the Christian belief and values of Christ. And when Christianity became accepted throughout the fading Roman Empire, society went through the Dark Ages, but through the Dark Ages, the rules of laws were made, and Christianity and its values influenced those laws. This is how our modern laws became what it is today. However, had Christianity did not enter the culture of the Greeks and Romans, where pederasty was common, widespread, and accepted, it is doubtful that there would now be laws against child molestation. Cultures and society that has not been influenced by Christianity still practice pedophilia and child marriage. The cultures and society that still practice this are mainly countries of the Middle East and some parts of Africa, and it's been reported that some isolated tribes of South America that have not been influenced by Christianity still practice this immoral behavior, which is why we see this problem in the Middle East and some parts of Africa.
Which, by the way, that's not off. Of course, if the child is hit the flower of their age, okay, I don't want to hear no controversy. The scriptures speak of this, man, and there's a way to go about it. Okay, there's laws on it. Okay, of course. The flower of the age usually happens around the age of 12. Okay, for male and females. Okay, you also have again laws on this as well. Okay, women, typically marry young. In again the parts that she mentioned, it happens all over the world, man. Okay, Asia, you have Asia, Africa. Okay, I'm naming continents. Doesn't really happen in Europe anymore, or America, and you have South America as well. okay? And the reason being is because these people are very politically correct. And hey, man, Elder Pastor said it best, man. You niggas have been in America for too long, okay? All right. You have what again? I actually spoke on this recently, but you have these women out here talking about, oh, I'm 35, I'll look for a husband then after I get my career and shit. Eggs all dried up. Okay. This is a biological thing, man. You people are in your feelings. Okay. This is all biological reasons. To where men and women marry young. Okay. Typically more women, okay, than men because we're in this society, of course, it's harder to get established. You have it to where you have to build your credit or buy a house, and you can't really do that young anymore. Okay, you can't just go out and build a house. You actually have to buy it and all this and that. So it's typically to where women will marry young. Okay, and also you have arranged marriages, man. Okay, so you don't have just women wandering the streets and getting married. No, there's arranged marriages. It's done in order, man. Okay, there's a reason why there's arranged marriages, and I actually spoke about this the last week at camp. That that's how you have a lot of these marriages failing because it's just for love. Oh, you just look good, I'm gonna marry you, and all this and that. As to where through arranged marriages is done through foundation. Okay, this parent and this parent met together. They talked. They've been friends for years. Okay, right? This dad or this family owns this type of business, and then that family, okay, owns that type of business, right? And they combine families through their children marrying together, and assets are put together. See, this is why everything is done in order, man. Okay, this is why everything is done in order. Okay, the Lord actually showed this through the scriptures, man. Okay, if you read the scriptures tell you this. Okay, everything is done in order, man. Okay, even in an instance that say like you see how these emperors are touching these little boys and whatnot. Even in these churches, you're supposed to be put to death for that, man. First of all, you're breaking the law through homosexuality. Okay, right, same gender, right? And then on top of that, what is it called? You're going in through I'm not gonna say the word, man. I'm just gonna leave it there, because you already know the algorithm, man. I ain't even trying to get. I actually want this video to be uploaded, This is Romans chapter 1 verse 26 though. It says, "For this cause Yahawah gave them up to vile affections," right? And these empires then particularly drenched themselves in the laws of Yahawashi. They were vile as hell, man. Okay, right? Working out naked. You've seen the depictions too, running naked and shit around other men. Men aren't supposed to see other men naked. Okay, off his shit, man. Okay, same thing with women, seeing women naked and man, off as hell, man. Off as hell. The laws actually tell you that. Okay, man should not uncover another man's nakedness. You're not supposed to uncover your sister's nakedness, your parents' nakedness. Didn't you just hear at the beginning of the video they talk about marrying in the family and shit, talking about marrying your sister. Okay, you even had some instances. The one story, I believe it's Ishtar or whatever. Okay, talking about marrying your mother and man, off as hell. And they turned that into idols and gods, man. Off as hell, man. Off as hell. Okay, so Yahawah gave them up to that vile affections. Okay, the Yahawah Bashim Yeshai put that spirit on them to be vile as hell. Okay, and again, they actually banished Yahawah Bashim Yeshai's laws, especially ancient Greece. When you read the Apocrypha will tell you this. Okay, just read the account of the 7 brothers. Okay, it wasn't lawful to keep the Sabbath. Okay, if you're caught wearing fringes, you had to shave your beard. Look at all these depictions of these men. Majority of these men don't even have beards on. Okay, right? Because they knew the laws of Yahawah Shemishai, and they didn't subscribe to them. Okay, so there was no standard to basically uphold and have you what's the word I'm looking for? Follow the laws of Yahawah Shemishai. It says, "For even their women did change the natural use, that which is against nature." And you also heard even the women took part in this, man. Okay, desensitizing children, and that's why you have something called traumas. Okay, right? You have something called traumas. Like if you start the kids earlier, than they're supposed to at the flower of their age, that's off. That's actually off, man. Okay? Right? And that's where you get the word pedophilia. Okay? That kid's gonna be traumatized as hell, man. Okay? And back then too, when you had them reach father age, arranged marriage, everything the people were more mature. Okay? They had safeguards, they were more mature, and everything was just done in order, man. Okay? None of this weird freak shit, man. All right? I believe there's some little bit left more.
Has moved humanity forward, while other cultures and society that has not been influenced by Christianity.
Which Christianity is just a watered down version of the Bible, by the way. They don't even subscribe to the laws. We already, again, man, the elders been going in on them Christians. We all went on them Christians, okay? Watered down as hell, okay? Christians are watered down as hell. They watered down the Bible. You guys don't even subscribe to the law, okay? You don't teach the law, okay? That's the main goal right there is the law. Okay, and then the other aspects is you be teaching everyone can be saved. That's another fail safe. Okay, another one is you don't teach who the real people of the Bible are. Okay, you discredit the whole Israelite. You don't even teach Israelites at all. You just you talk about the whole Bible as if it's talking about everyone. Okay, no, it's not, man. Okay, God don't love everybody. You guys talk about everything as in it's Skittles, purple flowers and Skittles and everything's good to go. Okay. Like the final death is gonna be all fine and dandy. Nope, it ain't. Okay. So there's everything wrong with Christianity, which I'll probably go into another video separately. Okay. But yeah. All right. Christianity again, just watered down version of the Bible, man. Okay, watered down as hell.
He still has this ancient way of living. And the way they think is very much backward.
Which actually, behind closed doors, a lot of Christians practice the same shit. Okay, they actually accept that. Okay, homosexuality, pedophilia, they do it behind closed doors. Just go read about the Catholic Church. They be sodomizing boys and stuff. They do it more to the boys than they do to the girls in the Catholic churches, literally. Okay, because that's a form of Satanism. Actually, one of the forms of Satanism is taking on a little boy. Okay, and sodomizing him, man. Oh, man. This thing goes deep, man.
To our modern society and rules of laws which we all follow in first world countries. So, as some cultures change over time for the better, other cultures stay behind and linger to their old ways, which can conflict with modern human rights activists. And amongst those who have values and morals, and following an ethical moral belief. Those who want to help children find it challenging to do so in third world countries that are not in favor of Western laws that were influenced by Christianity.
Right, and it was because, again, if you didn't know, America was founded on Christianity as well. Christopher Columbus was a so-called Christian, okay, and he did what he did, okay? That dude was also committing pedophilia, documented that he was, him and his men, okay? Taking on little boys and little girls, okay, and doing unrighteously too, man. Okay, killing them and doing all sorts of shit, man. You actually have a form of they mention orgies as well. Okay, orgies is a form of I think it's called either gang banging or whatever, man. Okay, that's a form of that as well. That's office shit too. Okay, you're not supposed to have threesomes and man and woman all in the same room. 20 of you in the same room, just effing on each other, switching people, effing on this woman, effing on that. Okay, and on top of that, I bet you they're intermingling with men and women through those orgies as well. Off as hell, man. Okay, but this is the one of the ancient practices and customs of ancient Greece and Rome. Okay.
And find it hard to change the minds of many people and cultures without.
So that's one video. This is another one right here. Okay, we're gonna start it from the beginning, man. All right, yeah, man. I previewed the videos before. It was wild, man. Okay, and even some of the emperors too. It was just mentioning Greece as well, but this one's more focused on Rome. All right.
LGBT emperors of ancient Rome. In ancient Greece and the Roman Empire, homosexual relationships were an accepted and common practice.
Yeah, Christopher Columbus too was a damn homosexual as well. Okay, he was as well. Okay, he was as well, man. Dude was sleeping with his men as well, man. All right, yo, man, I'm telling you, all this is off, man. All right, and it's all against the scripture. There's a reason why They shun the Bible. They shun the Lord's men. They try and change the laws to benefit them. There's a reason why for that, because all the things that they were practicing, things like dietary laws, okay, sexual laws or sexuality laws. Okay, this is all in the Bible, man. There's a way you're supposed to go about life. There's a reason why the Lord made everything the way it is and orchestrated the way it is, because it's meant for a certain purpose and cause. And again, this goes into Esau changing the ways of Yahawah Shem Yahawashi. All right. Leviticus chapter 18 verse 22. It says, "Those shall not lie with mankind as those lie with a woman." Okay. So man on man, woman on woman. Okay. This is in the Old Testament and New Testament. Paul talked about this and Moses talked about this, man. All right. It is an abomination. Okay. Verse 23, "Neither shall thou lie with any beast to defile." That's another thing I forgot to mention. They were heavily into bestiality. Okay. The Romans and the Greeks were heavy into bestiality. The same thing with the Babylonians as well. Heavy into bestiality as well. Okay. You will see some depiction. I don't think they're going to show it, but yeah, man, that's another component that was missing. All right, we basically touching all bases. The edophilia, the bestiality, and then the men on men and women on women. Okay. "Beast to defile thyself, neither shall thou any woman stand before the beast to lie down, therefore it is confusion." Right, it's confusion. You're not supposed to partake in any sexual acts with animals, okay, or men on men, woman on woman. That don't produce life. That's anti-life. How do two men reproduce a child? How does two women produce a child? How does a man and a beast or a woman and a beast produce a child? Again, and there's also another thing in America too. Silent laws being trying to pass. That's another thing as well. Is bestiality, men and women. Man, I'll put up videos right now of men and women in America, modern time, marrying their dog or their cat or their goldfish, man. But this is the practices of confusion, man. Okay, let's keep going.
In masculine societies, the male form was revered for its physical perfection, while women's virtues were jealously guarded to ensure the legitimacy of children. In Greece, romantic and sometimes sexual relationships between older and younger men were seen as an initiation rite. The Romans modeled themselves after Greece in most things, but had strong...
You see? They modeled it. And the same thing with America. It's just reincarnated empires. And the book of Revelations tells you this, man. The beast healed itself. How did it heal itself? The empires reincarnated. The same Caesars, the same emperors are the same presidents and mayors of today. You see them office. You see it, man. You see it. Because reincarnation is the thing. Reincarnation isn't just what is it called? In people. It's also in empires and societies, philosophies, doctrines. They may be molded a little bit different or called different names, but it's still the same concept, man. The same spirit is back on earth today. All right?
Feelings that a Roman citizen should always play the dominant, never submissive role in a homosexual relationship. Prominent citizens sought out enslaved men, prostitutes, and entertainers to fulfill their sexual desires.
You see? Slaves, all right? And what were they doing to the men in when it was physical slavery? What were they doing? There was a thing called buck breaking, okay? And it's documented that it's also documented that there's actually a law on it, okay? In Deuteronomy, it actually tells you that, okay? Thou shalt sell a boy for wine, okay? And the harlot, that's what they were doing, turning what is called the little boys into prostitutes. And what would they do? The little boys would prostitute. They would be sleeping with men for money, okay, and selling the woman for to be a harlot, so she would get passed around from slave. Hey, man, these things were happening, man. These are practices, okay? These are practices, okay? And Jake allows this too. Jake be following the same thing. That's why Jake is the head of the LGBTQ, okay? Yeah, the Black Lives Matter scandal as well. Okay, the whole face of it was Jake, man. Okay, always Jake. Don't you be seen in these movies, these damn magazines, these goddamn commercials? Who's the main? It's always Jake, man. Jake's face is always in that shit, man, all the damn time. Okay, though Exodus chapter 23 and verse 2, it says, "Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil." Right. This is why we were given laws, Akim. Okay, Israel, we were given laws because this is what happens when you're left to your own devices, man. You think this is okay. You think that's okay. The same thing, again, with dietary laws, okay? life laws. The Lord gave us law, statutes, and commandments on life, just in general. Okay, how to deal and operate in ordinances, man. Okay, there's a reason why there's an order to everything, man. Okay, this is what you have, man. When you have the heathen ruling, the heathen were given the laws. So what do you think is gonna happen when the heathen are given the laws? This is how they're gonna act out. This is how they're gonna act. This is how they're gonna move. Neither shall those speak in the cause to decline many after many to wrest judgment right, and they have unrighteous judgment clearly. Okay, they talking about initiating men by popping them in the. Come on, man. Come on, man. All right.
Enslaved boys would sometimes be castrated in an attempt to keep them docile and immature for the pleasure
Yeah,
of
emasculation, man.
lovers. Though uncommon, marriages between men were not unheard of in ancient Rome. They included many of the traditional elements of a Roman wedding, including a dowry, and the man acting as the bride would wear a veil. Here are the stories of 8 Roman emperors whose attraction to the masculine form was particularly renowned. Julius Caesar. At 16, Caesar became a high priest of Jupiter and married Cornelia, who bore him a daughter. When his uncle came out the worse in a rivalry with a fellow general, Caesar decided to make himself scarce and joined the army fighting in Asia. He was sent on a diplomatic mission to visit King Nicomedes of Bithynia in modern-day Turkey. Caesar remained at Nicomedes' court much longer than necessary, and rumors of a romantic relationship between the two circled. It was said that Caesar was now queen of Bithynia. When he returned home to Rome and launched his political career, hearsay and innuendo dogged him. It was not so much that he had had a homosexual relationship that was seen as insulting, but that he had played the submissive role to a foreign ruler. Caesar was a brilliant military commander and was the first Roman general to cross the Rhine River and
What's up?
the English Channel in his mission to conquer new lands for Rome. These achievements gave him unrivaled power and threatened the existing power structure. The Senate ordered him to step down from his military command and return to Rome. He instead invaded the capital and took control of the government, naming himself dictator for life. He was married 2 more times, had an infamous affair with Egyptian Queen Cleopatra VII, and became a notorious womanizer. As ruler, Caesar mandated a great deal of reform. He gave Roman citizenship to residents of far-flung regions of the empire, initiated land reform, and supported veterans. He also introduced the Julian...
Hey, this is similar, man. This is similar to America. Okay? And that's how part of hey, man, that's why America's falling, man. Okay? All right? They would call them immigrants of today, but giving them a lot of power and infrastructure in your country. Okay? You're giving power to the outside. Hey, man, I'm just saying, man. You know? All right? But hey, this is what is called. This ain't gonna happen in our kingdom, man. Okay? You see the ways of these heathens. They don't even be empowering their people, man. Okay? That's why you have a lot of hey, that's the future of America, by the way, anyways. Okay? If America were to go on, who knows, who knows how long the Lord's gonna have it happen, but have this empire keep going. But that's part of the reason why Rome fell. Okay? Giving a lot of power and infrastructure to foreign parties. Okay? Sending out money. Okay? Right? Sending out money, allowing immigrants, giving them benefits and government checks and this and that, government benefits and this and housing and it's the same. You see the same pattern, Akims, right? You see the same patterns happening,
which was used throughout Europe until the 16th century. On the Ides, or 15th of March, Caesar was stabbed to death by rival senators. He is not known to have any male lovers besides Nicomedes, but Julius Caesar's sexuality has been a topic of debate among historians for centuries. Contemporary statesman Curio the Elder said that Caesar was every woman's man and every man's woman. Whether this was just a twisted political insult or based in truth may never be known, but it is an interesting story. Emperor Tiberius. When Tiberius was 5 years old, his mother divorced his father in order to marry the future Emperor Augustus. Tiberius married his childhood friend Vipsania, and the couple had a happy marriage. But when her father died, Emperor Augustus demanded that Tiberius divorce his beloved wife and marry her stepmother, who also happened to be the emperor's
Call
daughter.
off this shit,
The
man.
new couple were miserable together, and Julia did nothing to hide her numerous affairs. Tiberius once ran into Vipsania and broke down into tears, begging for her forgiveness. But their families made sure that they never saw each other again. Tiberius embarked on a successful military career and conquered many northern territories. But he walked away from power and retired to the island of Rhodes. This was partly to get away from his wife, who had become notorious for her promiscuity. Her imperial father put a stop to her behavior by exiling her and forcing several of her lovers to commit suicide. When Augustus's 2 teenage grandsons and heirs died, Tiberius was called back to Rome as heir to the throne. At 55, Tiberius was named emperor, a position he never wanted and was loath to take. He was described as the gloomiest of men and let the Senate do most of the ruling. He preferred to escape to his villa on the island of Capri, which he filled with erotic art depicting a variety of homo and heterosexual acts. He entertained young men and women and had a group of boys called his little fishes who accompanied him when he swam and were trained to lick and nibble him under the water. Tiberius's palace of sexual luxuries bestowed upon the island of
Vile
Capri a
hacks,
reputation
man.
as a
Damn.
resort of royal indulgence, especially of a homosexual nature that exists to this day. After 22 years spent barely on the throne, Tiberius died at 77 and passed the empire to his adopted grandson, Caligula, who was even more infamous for his sexual exploits.
So,
Yeah, man. You have it there, man. You see it there. So lucky for that.
Emperor Nero. Nero became emperor after his mother,
We'll give this one the
Younger,
last one. We'll close it
poisoned
up.
her husband, Emperor Claudius, to make room for her son. She dominated the teenage emperor and possibly had a sexual relationship with him for the first 5 years of his reign. Tired of his mother's overbearing, Nero had her
Oh,
murdered.
they're popping
The
their
emperor
mothers
was
too, man.
married to 3 different women and 2 men in public
Yeah, man.
ceremonies.
We'll end it there, man. Yeah, you see it there though, firsthand, man. All right, I was actually gonna pull up some articles, regarding Rome as well, but hey, man, I thought the videos would be better for firsthand sight, man. Okay. This is Isaiah chapter 24 and verse 5. It says, "The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws." Right. So you can imagine there's going to be influence up throughout the earth. And again, I was actually going to do a separate video on this, but influence is basically bloodshed. Okay. Because the influence, or what you believe in, you're going to push onto others, man. Okay. And that's called influence. So if you push out death, man, okay, or the kings and rulers are always pushing out death, what do you think the influence is going to be upon the earth, man? Okay, the vibration, the energy is going to be upon the earth. You put that, you do the math. Okay, you do the math. You see for yourself, man. Okay, right? If these people are always pushing out pedophile laws, to protect them and do this, or homosexual laws, what do you think is going to be the spirit of the earth? Okay, if you were to have a righteous ruler, okay, or somewhat of a righteous ruler, what do you think the spirit of the earth is going to be? It's going to be in the correct form. Okay, vice versa. It says, change the ordinance and broken the everlasting covenant, right? And this is just in general, but the ordinance of the earth, there's always a law or a rule to life, okay? And it's being broken by the heathen, man. Okay, even Jake too, because Jake wants to be just like the heathen. Jake be subscribing to the same doctrine as the heathen. They're hand in hand with the wicked, man. Okay, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. The scriptures tell you this, man. Okay, so Lord willing, this video is edifying. To elect that be out there listening, learning. Hey, man. Hey, this video is gonna be called the the sexuality of ancient Rome, okay, and Greece. All right. So with that, man, I'm gonna wrap it up. All praise and glory be unto the Father, Son, Yahawashi, Till next time, Shalom.